everyone. It's a beautiful and meaningful Wednesday morning for all of us. Hello and welcome to the launch of #FactsFirstPH. My name is Jules Giang, and today we are putting the spotlight on facts.
My name is Happy Ferrari, and we are your hosts for today's program. This is an unprecedented coming together of journalists, lawyers, activists, artists, church and business groups, and all of us agree to agree on the facts.
Tama yan, Happy. Kasi syempre sa panahon ngayon, very common na itong mga agree to disagree na lang tayo, na I'm doing my own research, na bias talaga ang media, o #respect na lang my opinion.
Nako, Jules, yes, I see a lot of that on social media, pati na rin sa mga personal family chat groups. I'm sure a lot of our viewers are experiencing this also. If you're one of those, you can share with us your experience in the comment section or in the chat group. Let us know what you're seeing. And you know, we think of all of this, we see and we realize that all of this really, the root of this comes from disinformation, propaganda, fake news, or simply put, lies. Lies that have been amplified and spread, repeated a million times so that they appear to be true. And some people, or many actually, fall for this and think, yeah.
That's right, Happy. Kasi alam mo, yung iba, they feel na yung problem like this is information is harmless naman siya, na hindi siya nakaka-apekto sa kanila dahil journalist lang daw. But in reality, it affects all of us, kahit pa hindi ka journalist. Kasi ang nakakatakot dito, in reality, no, all of us are affected in a personal level. Yung mga friendships, yung mga families, even yung mga relationships, Happy, nagkakawatak-watak dahil wala tayong shared reality of truth.
Correct. Di ba? Ang dami ng mga nag-unfriend sa Facebook or siguro mga breakups na nangyayari dahil sa disinformation. And that's a very real thing that's happening, you know. And I'm sure all of you who are joining us today, I'm sure you're seeing that this is very much heightened with election season in full swing.
That's right. So ang question ngayon, Happy, so ano na? Wala na ba talagang pag-asa? Is it too late? Or how do we turn up the truth in this atmosphere of lies? Meron pa nga ba talagang laban ang katotohanan?
Meron talaga. Meron laban ang katotohanan. And those are very real and urgent questions, Jules, yung mga tinanong mo. And that is precisely the reason why this initiative is needed at this time.
So of course, this is a joint effort by organizations from all over the Philippines across various sectors. As you mentioned, Happy, we have coalitions, media, civil society organizations, business groups, church, research groups, and legal organizations.
Yeah, and I think it's very important to get all of these organizations involved because, you know, if in our own personal lives, we feel and see the negative effects of this information, imagine what more the impact will be on a larger scale. When people believe the lies on a larger scale, they can cause real-life harassment, attacks, imprisonment of innocent people, dangerous laws being passed, and even death.
That's why today we choose to look at what we can do collectively to put an end to this problem.
Correct. And of course, no one can do this alone. That's why today, this event will show you the people who have said yes. Let's work together, giving truth a louder voice. So Jules, give us an overview kung ano ba ang ipinaglalaban dito sa #FactsFirstPH.
All right, sure, Happy. #FactsFirstPH aims to counter disinformation during this crucial and critical election season. We also aim to create a proof of concept for other countries that through collaboration of various sectors, we can defeat disinformation. This initiative is supported by nonprofit technology platform Midan, Google News Initiative, and Rappler. In this initiative, we have 4 layers. Layer number 1, fact-checking. Layer 2, mesh. Layer 3, research. Layer 4, accountability. Layer 1 will focus on producing fact-check pieces by monitoring social media for dubious claims. You will see translations and ideas for new formats. Layer 2 will create a mesh of distribution and collaboration, powered by civil society organizations, business sector, and church. This layer will amplify fact-check pieces to help counter disinformation in different communities. Layer 3 will dive deeper and analyze data to determine the trends and patterns of disinformation online. Expect weekly analysis reports from our collaborators from various academic institutions. And lastly, Layer 4 will focus on accountability to monitor and document attacks against journalists, fact-checkers, and even our netizens who are just sharing our fact-check pieces. Our legal groups will act on complaints on disinformation and attacks to journalists and non-journals. And of course, to all our partners here, if you want to check on the names of your organization, check out this slide. Ladies and gentlemen, this is #FactsFirstPH.
Right. Thank you, Jules, for sharing that with us today. Of course, we would like to acknowledge and recognize all of the people behind this effort. So let's do a rundown.
All right, let's start with the newsrooms and fact-check groups belonging in Layer 1 fact-checking. We have Abacada Network, ABS-CBN Integrated News and Current Affairs, Alter Media with Northern Dispatch, Baguio Chronicle, Catholic Media Network via CBCP, Daily Guardian, Interaction, Mindanao Gold Star, News 5 Digital, One News PH, Press One, Probe Productions, Radio Veritas, and Rappler.
All right, and we can also take a look, if you take a look at Layer 2, the mesh layer, these are the organizations belonging to that layer and group. We have #CourageOnCoalition, #PHVoteCoalition, 2030 Youth Force in the Philippines, ACP3 Peace Tayo, Alyansa ng Kabataang Mindanao para sa Kapayapaan, Amateur Media Association of Philippine Scouts, Bantay Bakuna, Bayan Mo Patrol Mo, Blog Watch, Boto Pilipino, Break the Fake, Brotherhood of Christian Businessmen and Professionals, Caloocan Young Leaders Initiative, Caritas Philippines, Catholic Bishops Conference of the Philippines, Center for Trade Union and Human Rights, Coalition for People's Rights to Health, College Editors Guild of the Philippines, Concerned Artists of the Philippines, Council for Health and Development.
We also have Dakila, Fact Check Philippines, FEU Central Student Organization, Financial Executive Institute of the Philippines, Foundation for Media Alternatives, FIGHT, Holy Angel University, Human Rights Watch, Ibon Foundation, Imagine Law, Juan Health PH, Ka Ilongga, Kalikasan, Karapatan, Kilos na para sa Kabuhayan, Kalusugan at Karapatan, Kontra Daya, Lila.
All right, we also have Makati Business Club, Move as One Coalition, National Alliance of Youth Leaders Incorporated, Northern Dispatch, Now You Know, Out of the Box, Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting or PPCRV, Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism, PMCJ, Practice of Administrative Leadership and Service, NCPAG, Rise Up for Life and for Rights, and EQ Voice Philippines, Student Council Alliance of the Philippines, Tamaang Boto, Tatak Botante, the Amaranth, UE, Manila CASSC, University of the Philippines Los Baños, Visayas State University, and You Vote Global Shapers Iloilo Hub.
Now let's head on to Layer 3 research. We have Access at AIM, or the Analytics, Computing, and Complex Systems Lab of the Asian Institute of Management. We have De La Salle University, La Salle Institute of Governance. We have Far Eastern University Public Policy Center. We have the Philippine Media Monitoring Laboratory, UP Department of Communication Research, and Rappler Data and Research Team.
And lastly, our Layer 4, the layer of accountability, we have the Free Legal Assistance Group, Movement Against Disinformation, National Union of Journalists of the Philippines, and the Philippine Bar Association.
So once again, thank you so much to all our partners and to all our viewers right now. If you are part of any organization and if you are interested to be part of #FactsFirstPH, please do message us right now. All right, so now we proceed to our next part of the program. To tell us more about this and talk about how it all began, let's call on screen Rappler CEO and Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Maria Ressa. Maria, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Look, the attack on facts has just been incredibly relentless. We haven't lived through anything like this in more than 35 years. How could we? The technology didn't really exist. But as we know from history, if we don't have facts, we can't find common ground. We can't trust each other. Without trust, there's no law, no justice, and democracy is dead. The attack on facts, narinig niyo naman sina Jules and Happy, the attacks on facts is personal. If you defend the facts, you're hammered down, intimidated to stay silent, or join the mob. Those aren't our only options. There is strength in standing up together because now, more than ever, we need facts. We know what happens when we don't stand up for them. People are misled. They get angry, especially now in a time of COVID. They don't know whom or what to trust. We lose our history. We lose our community. We know that it's impossible to have integrity of elections if we don't have integrity of facts. So we demand better from the social media platforms that deliver the facts. Don't set us against each other. Don't help disinformation spread. We've seen the damage that lies can do, and it is time for all of us to act in this, and you've heard me say this, Avengers Assemble moment. Every person in every group in this coalition has a superpower. If you're watching, you care about your family, your neighbors, our next generation. In exactly 104 days from today, we go to the polls to select, to choose our future. And we won't know whom to vote for if we don't have the facts. Thank you to Midan for providing us a tech solution to unite all of us, and to the Google News Initiative for supporting us. So again, thank you everyone for being here. In this hour, you will hear strong voices to urge you to protect the facts. We've had little time to come together, but we know it matters. When I spoke in Oslo last December, I laid out the global problem, and we are here today working to find the solution, harnessing our communities, starting with our families and friends. We need to protect the facts. We need to demand better. So let's not feel helpless. Let's not give up. We got this, right? This is up to each of us because we believe in the good. So let's do this together.
All right, thank you so much, Maria Ressa. Happy, ayan, diba? So Avengers Assemble moment talaga to.
Yes, and I like that we need, if we want integrity of elections, we need integrity of facts. And I think this is also one major reason why people chose to come together right now. So very, very great to see all of you joining us today. And of course, right now, we have our keynote address, and we'd like to call on ABS-CBN Senior Vice President and Head of Integrated News and Current Affairs, Jing Reyes, to join us on screen. Welcome, Jing.
Thank you, Happy. Good morning to all. It's nice to see familiar faces. Good morning to our friends and colleagues. I am honored to be here today. ABS-CBN is proud and honored to be part of this groundbreaking effort to fight disinformation. What excites us about this coalition of news media, civil society groups, representatives from the academe, the legal profession, is the commitment to take fact-checking to a higher level of research and accountability. It has become an essential component in our coverage of the political campaign and the electoral process. Our task won't be easy. Outright lies and false narratives that tend to mislead voters have become commonplace in political campaigns, not just here in the Philippines, but in many parts of the world. Social media have become a tool for spewing lies and hate. The journalism profession continues to grapple with an existential threat. For the first time in our country, we are covering an election in the middle of a pandemic with its accompanying health and safety restrictions. In the case of ABS-CBN, we are covering this most consequential election with very limited resources due to the non-renewal of our franchise. Still, we cannot give up on truth. ABS-CBN is committed to fight disinformation and provide the public with accurate and relevant information so that they could make an informed choice when they cast their ballots. Many newsrooms are already struggling with this pandemic, and our woes are aggravated by the assault on truth, our business of truth-telling, and a systematic effort to discredit us and our profession. Hashtag FactsFirstPH is our collective action to set things straight and seek to make this upside down world right side up again. This is an inherent part of our responsibility as journalists and citizens to hold those in power to account, be accountable ourselves, and protect a vibrant democracy where people can make decisions freely based on correct information. We are thankful to the proponents of this coalition. The election season is perhaps the busiest time for media organizations, and admittedly, we tend to be consumed by our respective coverage plans and deployment plans. It certainly took an enormous amount of effort and willpower to unite all of us today toward a common goal. Congratulations to hashtag FactsFirstPH. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay tayong lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Miss Jing Reyes of ABS-CBN. Happy, very important yung sinabi ni Miss Jing, no, na in this time of elections, very important na talagang there is unity and collaboration, of course, para labanan ang disinformation.
Absolutely. And I think it's really showing us now that, this is not just a job for journalists. It's, the journalists were like the frontliners. They were the first ones to experience the attacks. But as we all can see right now, it's across all sectors. Kaya in this initiative, we don't have just media groups. We have civil society, church, business, because it affects all sectors of society. So really important for us to come together. And with that, I'd like to invite all of you to listen to this message from the President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines. Let's listen to this message from Bishop Ambo David.
Dear allies in the common advocacy for truth and the common fight against falsehood in the social media, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I wish to thank Rappler for inviting me to take part in the public launching of this call to action, hashtag FactsFirstPH. I'm sorry we have our CBCP Permanent Council meeting this morning, and so I decided to record this message to express my solidarity with you and with all other civil society organizations that are taking part in this call to action. I am confident that our banding together will be a big boost to the objective of supporting the work of fact-check groups by amplifying the fact-check pieces that they produce. I hope and pray that more individuals and organizations will join in this proactive fight against the use of the social media for disinformation. I would also like to commend the commitment of the major newsrooms to this urgent concern, especially in the context of our preparation for the coming elections in May 2022. I want you to know that I fully agree with the message so eloquently expressed by Maria Ressa when she received a Nobel Peace Prize in Oslo. You know what struck me most deeply in that speech were the lines that said, "Without facts, you cannot have truth. Without truth, you cannot have trust. Without trust, we have no shared reality, no democracy, and it becomes impossible to deal with the existential problems of our times: climate, coronavirus, now the battle for truth. The whole world heard your message loudly and clearly, Maria. And I want to assure you that in the fight for truth, you can count on us as your allies. This is no longer an issue only for us Filipinos. It has become a global issue, knowing how the cyberspace has dissolved the national boundaries. Rest assured of my support and of my prayers. May the good work which the Lord has begun in you, with you, and through you be brought to fulfillment in the name of Jesus, who assures us that if we struggle to know the truth and uphold it, the truth will set us free. This is Bishop Ambo, Bishop of the Diocese of Caloocan. God bless all of you.
All right. Maraming salamat po, Bishop Ambo of the CBCP. And of course, it's a very welcome development, no, na talagang this is a whole of society approach. Kaya talagang CSOs or even the church, which has a very huge influence in all of our countrymen, 'di ba? So talagang nakikita natin dito na lahat ng sectors sumasama dito sa ating endeavor sa Facts First PH. And this is also an invitation to everyone, to all other religion as well, na magsama-sama tayo for this cause.
Gusto ko yung sinabi niya, the truth will set you free, diba? Sometimes it's hard to accept the truth, but ultimately it will set you free. So I think it's important to remember that. That's why we want to agree on the facts and make sure that we defend the truth. So Jules, I think
Yes.
it's time. It's
Ito
10:30.
na. Right. All right. So perfect timing tayo. So at this point, Happy and everyone, all our partners will simultaneously post our call to action on their respective pages. Okay, so antabayan na natin lahat ng mga pages nila. And our call to action is defend the facts, be part of the movement. If your group wants to join, email info@factsfirst.ph. Spot this information online, post the link and screenshot, and use hashtag FactsFirstPH. So as early as now, Happy, first day natin, pwede na kayo agad mag-spot ng mga disinformation. Screenshot nyo lang yan at yung link kung saan nyo nakita, and use hashtag FactsFirstPH.
And of course, we'd also like to invite everyone to like or follow. Let's make sure we like and follow each other, the pages of our growing number of members here in the hashtag FactsFirstPH group. Read, like, and share the posts, because you will really help us reach outside of our circle and create a bigger audience. So really, it's up to, this is a group effort. We can't do this alone. Each post that you make matters, because it gives truth a louder voice if you choose to do that.
Right. Again, this is our Avengers Assemble moment. So we need to help each other to amplify the truth.
All right. And while we wait for all of our partners sharing our call to action, so that's happening right now. For those of you that are following those pages, you can feel free to share if you're on social media right now. And while we wait for that, let's watch this performance by Noel Cabangon. This is called Bagong Umaga, or New Day.
Mawawala rin ang dilim at liliwanag ang langit. Pagkabigo ay madadaig at ang sigla ay babalik. Sugat ng hidwaan ay mapapawi at malulunod. nasa una, ngayon na may mahuhuli. Uusbong ang mga binhi at sasagana ang ani. Magkukulay rosas ang paligid at sasariwa ang hangin. Katotohan ay mananaig, ang wasto ay maghahari. Tarungay manunumbalik at magwawagi pag-ibig. Bagong araw ay narito na, ngayon na ang bagong simula. Bagong umaga'y narito na, ang nasa una, ngayon na may mahuhuli. Bagong araw ay narito na, ngayon na ang bagong simula. Bagong umaga'y narito na, ngayon na ang bagong simula. Bagong araw ay narito na, ang nasa una, ngayon na may mahuhuli.
Right. Thank you so much, Noel Cabangon. Tulad nga ng sinabi ng kanta ni Noel Cabangon na bagong umaga or new day, happy, di ba? So, para sa lahat ng mga efforts sa gagawin natin dito sa hashtag FactsFirstPH ay para sa isang bagong umaga na wala na sanang disinformation at mga kasinungalingan.
Gusto ko yan, Jules. So sana bukas wala nang disinformation, diba? That means we can now have family dinners in peace. Hindi na tayo mag-aaway-away. Wala na tayong mga friendship over moments kasi we can at least agree on the facts. So right now, Jules, we will be hearing from representatives of each layer for their solidarity messages.
That's right. But before that, Happy, very quick reminder lang para sa ating call to action. At sa ating general public, kapag kayo ay magsaspot ng disinformation, if you will screenshot and post that on your walls, please get the link, use the hashtag, and please write in the caption, please fact check. Kasi syempre ayaw natin i-amplify lang yung disinformation na ginawa nila. So please make sure na merong ganung caption na please fact check, use the hashtag, and post the link. All right. So we will begin with layer 1 for the solidarity messages. From fact-checking, let's call on the trustee of the Asian Center for Journalism from the Ateneo de Manila University. Let's call on John Neri. John, go ahead, please.
It is bracing to see so many of us here with even more following on the different live streams. I'm John Neri, a journalist. I work with the Asian Center for Journalism. I'm a member of the Consortium on Democracy and Disinformation, and I serve as a columnist and editorial consultant at Rappler. Like you, I share the hope that Noel Cabangon so eloquently expressed, that we can all look forward to a new day. The key difference between the 2016 and the 2022 elections is that back then, most of us did not realize that we were being swallowed by the whale of disinformation. Some of us even happily rolled that great swirling rush, not knowing that the great roar we heard, which we mistook for the pulse of the people, was just the sound of us being sucked or suckered in. We are still in the belly of the beast, but today at least we know the nature of that beast. We know what disinformation does, and we know what we can do to fight it and to fight our way out of the whale. That's why there are so many of us here today. It is deeply encouraging to see that as of today, #FactsFirstPH can count on 14 news organizations, both large and small, from the north to the south for the first layer of fact-checking. Abacada Network, ABS-CBN, Alter Media, Baguio Chronicle, Catholic Media Network, the Daily Guardian of Iloilo, Interaction, Mindanao Gold Star Daily of Cagayan de Oro, News 5 Digital, One News PH, Press One, Probe, Radio Veritas, and Rappler. Some of our partners are partners too in other fact-checking initiatives, and that's a good thing. We see the work of counter-disinformation as multidimensional. It requires all hands on deck. And if there are redundancies in the work, we remind ourselves that that's a good thing too. It helps make the fact-checking more robust. News organizations are full partners in this initiative because we now fully understand what is truly at stake. As I have said on previous occasions, our understanding of the democratic project has evolved over time. Democracy is not merely government with the consent of the governed. Rather, and as we have learned with difficulty, it is government with the informed consent of the governed. This information puts the ideal, the standard of informed consent at great risk. The real objective of this information is to occupy our attention and weaken our capacity to tell true from false, right from wrong. And when we lose that capacity, when the factual basis of our shared reality is undermined, subverted, and then finally denied, then we are no longer in a position to give meaningful consent to our governors. We all have important roles to play in defending the democratic project from disinformation. This fight isn't just for journalists. It is profoundly reassuring then to realize that the work of #FactsFirstPH is shared with other layers and with over 100 organizations. This fight, this responsibility is for everyone. We, all of us, are the democratic project we seek to defend. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John, for your message. Right now, we'd like to call on a representative from Layer 2, the mesh layer. Let's begin with the Secretary General of Karapatan, Tinay Palabay.
Gandang umaga po. Ang hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan, hindi mararating ang paroroonan. Ito po ang isang kasabihan na nung bata pa tayo ay sadyang nakatatak sa marami sa atin. Pinatutungkulan nito ang mas mahalaga at angkop lalo na ngayon, ang kahalagahan ng pagtataguyod ng kasaysayan ng katotohanan. Walang ibang translation ang facts, kundi ang katotohanan. Dahil ang katotohanan ay isang bagay na mahirap baluktutin sa isang bayang malaki ang pagpapahalaga para sa kasaysayan at sa ating patutunguhan ng ating kinabukasan bilang isang bayan. Pero sa mga may rekurso at pamamaraan at kagustuhan, napakadali na lamang nilang nagagawa ito. Ngunit marugdog po ang aming paniniwala na sa gitna ng naglipa ng kasinungalingan o disinformasyon, na tayo ay isang mamamayan na marunong lumingon sa ating pinanggalingan, sa ating kasaysayan. Dahil alam natin na ang nakataya ay hindi lamang ang ating mga kasalukuyang realidad, kundi ang kinabukasan ng ating mga anak ng ating bayan. Kaisa at bahagi ang karapatan ng Facts First PH sa koalisyon ng mahigit sa 100 organisasyon ng mga mamamahayag, civil society, simbahan, law groups, and business groups sa makasaysayang yugtong ito sa ating bayan para sa pakikipaglaban para sa katotohanan, lalo na ngayong eleksyon. Napakahalaga na hindi maisantabi ng mga salitang move on o kalimutan ang nakaraan, ang katotohanan. Napakahalaga na ang danas ng ating bayan, ang masasakit at ang madidilim na karanasan at ang matatagumpay nating karanasan para sa pagtataguyod ng kalayaan at demokrasya ay hindi maisantabi ng mga pantabing na kasinungalingan o mga paratang na bias. Napakahalaga na magkaisa para sa katotohanan, para ang katotohanan ang manaig, para sa kolektibo nating pagkatuto at pagsulong bilang mamamayan para sa ating mga karapatan at para sa ating kinabukasan. Maraming salamat po. Laban tayo para sa katotohanan.
Maraming salamat, Tinay Palabay. Laban tayo lahat para sa katotohanan at yan po ay pang-engganyo sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan na makibahagi sa ating patuloy na lumalaking koalisyon na Facts First PH. All right, so at this point, another solidarity message from Layer 2 will come from the business sector. Let's call in the Executive Director of the Makati Business Club, Coco Alcuas. Coco, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, Jules. Good morning, everybody. We're very happy and honored to be with all of you this morning. Maria, Jing, John, Tinay, Bishop Ambo, and others, those that will follow, can tell you more about this information than I can, and so much better. They face it every day. We mostly get it secondhand. In fact, business can tell itself that it can turn a blind eye on disinformation, hoping that for some reason, business competitors have more honor and will continue to have more honor than political competitors. But business does best and creates the most jobs when a society is functioning well, because such a society attracts and keeps hardworking and innovative people who will create the products and the services that their countrymen and the world need, which means profit and jobs. But a society that's broken down in part because people can't talk to each other, don't trust each other, don't trust anything because there's too much wrong information, or too many people believe it, or can no longer tell what is right information from wrong information. This is the kind of society where people will keep their heads down or leave, including or especially like many of the young dynamic people in this meeting today, until the creative part of that society loses out to the corrupt, rent-seeking players in that society and economy stagnates. That is not the society that we want to work and live in, none of us. And so we are glad for this initiative, honored to be a part of it, grateful to those who have started it, and committed to bring more and more of our colleagues into it for both the short game, because elections are important, and the long haul, because we truly believe that this is, in this technology age, this is part of the war of our times, the war for democracy of our times. And whatever happens on May the 9th, this war will continue, and we will all be proud to be here at this beginning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Coco. At this point, let's proceed to layer 3. This is the research layer. Let's call on the senior data scientist of Access Lab of the Asian Institute of Management, Dr. Isa Liponay.
Good morning, everyone. What a great opportunity it is to work with all of you on this huge initiative that is both relevant and impactful on so many levels, not only to the Philippine society, but to all societies around the world. Data-driven research has been used to tackle pressing problems, ranging from vaccine development all the way to poverty alleviation. With the coming elections, there is critical urgency to apply research to the rapidly growing and evolving problem of disinformation, not just to protect the integrity of elections, but the sanctity of democracy as well. With millions of Facebook posts and tweets produced every day, sifting disinformation from all of them requires tools, techniques, and rigor that academia brings to the table. However, we cannot fight disinformation with research alone. It is critical that we step outside of our laboratories and reach out to other experts, such as journalists, lawyers, and fact checkers, to put our analysis into real action. Through Facts First PH, we aim to build a thriving community that can, one, tackle the biggest problems plaguing the information space, two, make the public understand the complexities of disinformation, three, dare to ask and answer questions that others may not, four, harmonize evidence from the ground to present novel insights, and five, make everyone listen to insights that the data presents. Through critical thinking and judicious application of the scientific method, we will contribute to this effort to reduce disinformation, respecting every Filipino's right to know the facts. We are looking forward to working with you all. Our greatest hope in this initiative, Facts First, babangon tayong muli. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Dr. Isa, for representing layer number 3. Right now, we'll head on to our last layer, layer 4, accountability. Let's call on the trustee of the Philippine Bar Association, Attorney John Molo. Attorney John, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of my fellow lawyers, legal organizations, and law schools represented here, we thank you for the opportunity to work together on this important task. All of us have felt the power of disinformation. For some, the attacks were very personal. But disinformation doesn't just harm individuals, it diminishes entire professions. It tears communities apart, even families. We see this in journalists being undermined by troll leaders, or academics whose decades of expertise is eroded by people undermined who just watched a 2-minute video, or doctors whose medical advice is now being questioned in the middle of a pandemic. And just this morning, we woke up to news of how disinformation is being used to spark conflict in Ukraine. Now, we all try to fight back, but it's like putting out fires while being on fire yourself. The machine is designed to wear us down, to dehumanize us, to make us feel powerless. That's why what we are doing today is important. Against a flood, against a tsunami, there are limits to what an individual can do. The machine is well funded, it is efficient, and most important of all, it is coordinated. And we weren't. That changes today. We are here because whether you are a student, a priest, a teacher, a reporter, a doctor, or a lawyer, we believe that there must be a baseline of truths, a baseline of facts. And while we can disagree on who to vote for, we all agree that an election cannot be inundated by lies. Now, we have some of the best lawyers and legal organizations in the country with us. Others are coming, and our contribution is threefold. First, to assist in vetting information within our areas of expertise. Second, to help protect the members of this coalition who are attacked just for doing their job. And third, to exact accountability. Because the freedom to speak is not freedom from consequences. Our hope is that through this united front, none of us will feel powerless against disinformation. Our aim is to guarantee safe spaces so that truth tellers like you will continue to ask tough questions. Our goal is to protect the democratic exercise that every Filipino holds dear. This is a fight to reclaim our communities. Now, if you are a lawyer, a law student who believes in what needs to be done, join us. Sign up. Talk to your colleagues to do the same, or perhaps convince your dean or your chapter presidents to join this coalition. Because now is not the time to watch by the sidelines. 100 days will determine the next 6 years. It's a tipping point. And if history is to be made in the next few months, ask yourself, where would you rather be? Thank you and good morning to all.
Maraming salamat, Attorney John Molo. And of course, thank you so much to all our representatives from each layer. So that's a very important and compelling question, happy to all of us, di ba? Saang bahagi ng kasaysayan ka lulugar sa panahong ito? Okay? Which side will you stand on, di ba? Siyempre, dun tayo sa katotohanan.
Yes. Team
Alright.
truth tayo.
Ito ang Team Truth. Okay. So once again, these are the members of our Facts First PH Coalition. And of course, this is just the beginning. We are inviting everyone, all organizations interested to fight for facts. Maaari po kayong mag-email lamang sa info@factsfirst.ph if you want to join our coalition.
Correct. And of course, all these logos that you see on screen right now, this is a growing and working list kasi as we speak, Jules, marami pa rin ngayon gustong sumali. If you check on social media right now, maraming posts na yung hashtag FactsFirstPH. And of course, we invite all of you to do the same. So again, have a look at all the organizations involved, Jules, dito sa Facts First PH, ang ating Team Truth. Itong mga nagpapakatotoo para sa katotohanan.
Yes. At nagsa-social media monitoring tayo ngayon, Happy. Meron din tayong mga friends from ASEAN, from Malaysia actually. Parang their suggestion is why not also create Facts First Malaysia? O, diba? So this is the kind of message narrative that we are trying to build, that a proof of concept basically for other countries as well. Collaboration to fight against disinformation. So there you go. This is Team Truth. This is a Facts First PH coalition.
And I think just seeing all these logos, this is a reminder that this is really not something that we can do on our own. Diba? So kayo, if you're watching as an individual, remember that each post that you make on social media amplifies something. It's your choice if you want that to be a truth or a lie. And we invite you to join us, join Team Truth. Dito tayo sa Facts First PH.
All right. Keep updated with all our activities starting today up until the next few months, and be updated via our activities through https://factsfirst.ph or email us at info@factsfirst.ph for your inquiries and if you want to join. And soon, we will be launching our tip lines or kung saan kayo pwede mag-send directly ng mga false claims na masa-spot nyo, especially when campaign begins next month.
Right. So again, check it out, factsfirst.ph, or email us info@factsfirstph. If you also spot this information online, you can tag us using hashtag factsfirstph. But make sure if it's something that you want to be fact-checked, please put that please fact-check para we know what it's about. Then you can use the hashtag, share it with your friends, share your ideas, Facts First PH, this is also our support group. We're all coming together. You're not alone. Many of us believe the importance of defending the truth. And this is exactly why this initiative was started. So thank you so much to all our viewers, to all the organizations, to all the individuals that joined us today to really, I think, push back on the lies and really say enough is enough. It's time for truth. My name is Happy Ferraret.
This is our Avengers Assemble moment, and definitely we are welcoming more newsrooms, civil society organizations, academic institutions, and legal groups. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Jules Giang, and once again, this is hashtag FactsFirstPH. Maraming salamat po.